All right. We're back, everybody. Episode 4. We're still here,
Still alive.
still kicking,
Still bored.
but we've got some good content for you today. Amazing. Our fans had a lot of questions for us, and
And we're truly grateful for all those fans.
right. I know that we make your quarantine experience a little easier, and I have to say you're making it easier for us.
I agree.
But we'll start with one question that is on a lot of people's minds, and we touched on a previous episode, and this is an area of special expertise for Myles. And we mentioned these checks from the government. Turns out we're actually getting checks. Is that right, Myles?
We're going to get some money. Yeah.
How's that work?
In just general loose terms, before I begin, you should always do your own research and take everything that we say is false. But in general terms, there's about up to $1,200 for a single individual, a single tax filer, $1,200. If your income is less than $75,000, you're generally going to get full $1,200. If your income creeps up a little bit, it's going to be phased out until you reach $99,000. Once you reach that, there's going to be no government check for you.
That's it? It's the whole story?
That's pretty much it. You're going to get some money if your income qualifies. If you it's going to be based upon your 2019 taxes. If you haven't filed those 2019, then they're going to be based on the 2018. The IRS is going to send those checks based upon the information they have. That could be a physical check to the address of record, or it could be a electronic deposit if you had gotten your tax return through direct deposit. One last note is that these checks should be phased out. I was hearing over 2 to 3 weeks. They're going to start with incomes less than $10,000, then incomes less than $20,000, so on and so forth, all the way up until $75,000. And those are going to be the people who are going to get the full $1,200. And then, like I said, it phases out once your income goes over a certain level, like $99,000. You're not going to receive it anymore.
So you guys in those lower brackets, start thinking about what you want to spend your check on. Well, let's go back to something I made a mistake last episode, responding to one of our fans, Sydney. And,
Die-hard fan.
And I said that Myles had never actually met her, but I forgot Myles had met Sydney before. So I just want to walk back that one a little bit. And Sydney has another question for us. Do you have anything to say to Sydney before we...
We're just grateful for your comments, your support. It gets us through these difficult times.
So what did Sydney say? She wants to know what are the go-to books and movies and TV shows aside from the obvious Stanley Kubrick, which Myles is a big fan of.
Yeah. So let's start with the TV shows. I've been hearing this Tiger, what's it called?
I don't remember.
But there's some Tiger TV show that's really popular right now. I haven't dipped my toe into that just yet, but I'll tell you, the Ozark Season 3, must watch. It's a great show. As far as books, I'm just finishing up The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I recommend that book during these difficult times. It's a very loving story, optimistic spirit. It's a good book during these dark times.
Yeah, I was watching Ozarks with Myles a little bit. It's pretty intense. But
no spoiler alerts here.
No spoiler. Okay, I won't say anything more. Well, that's the answer, Sydney. I can tell you, I've been watching. I watched a documentary called "The Story of the Juice." Really interesting. I highly recommend it. You can find it through your local library website. Let's move on to the next question. You mentioned lions. No, tigers.
Tigers. Love tigers.
Tigers. So
that's my spirit animal. I'm fierce, like a lion.
You want to roar for the fans?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Maybe someday.
Well, our viewer, Idan in Boulder, Colorado, asked us to explain how you get the Google 3D animals. So I did some research on this question because this was something new to me. I didn't know about 3D animals. But it's pretty cool. If you go onto Google, you can only go on certain supported devices, and I'll tell you which ones are supported.
This is pretty cool. You can get a 3D tiger in your living room.
But you need an Android smartphone or tablet, Android 7.0 or higher, or iPhone iOS 11.0 or higher.
So you got to get the right phone software. But
And
then you can
then-
get tigers in your living room.
So all you have to do is you Google the animal, and there's a lot of animals on there. I won't read the whole list, but you can probably Google your favorite animal, and then Google will say something like, "Do you want to see this in 3D?" And you click on that, and then it'll open your camera, and then it'll show you some box.
Hack all your
name.
information, take all those private photos that you don't want shared, but you'll still see a tiger in your living room.
But once you do that, you get this tiger like sitting on your coffee table.
It's pretty cool.
So that's something to do in quarantine times. All right, well we got time for one more question.
One more question.
So this one is from Raha in San Jose, and she was responding to
Raha.
she was responding to our comments about snacks last time, and she wants to know, Myles, given your success in staying fit and healthy during these times, what are your thoughts on those of us who have swung in the opposite direction? Is there a problem with binge watching, reading and sleeping during stressful times, or is this another acceptable way to cope?
I think it's acceptable. That's what Simon and I are doing. We're bored eating. But yeah, I'm all on board on that. That's my game plan pretty much every day.
So
Just get a run in there once every couple of days, and I feel like you'll be good.
okay, so it's not a time for shaming anybody about
No,
lack of exercise.
because pretty sure that Simon and I, we went through quite a bit number of cookies and apple crisps and everything else in between. So we're living that corn life right now.
And they closed our favorite exercise park, so
That we call the yard. Very upset about that.
I don't know what we'll do. We'll have to do jumping jacks in the living room. Okay, well, next time we got a riddle. Has to do with an old person crossing the street. And that was from Peter Gertler in Oakland. Happens to be my dad.
Shout out to Peter Gertler.
So look forward to that, and submit your questions or other kinds of things that you want us to address, like 3D animals on Google.
Thank you. Stay safe, friends.